Sam Hatch, Culturedog here, and again with another impromptu video. This past weekend, April 18th, was Record Store Day. That's been going on since maybe 2008 or so. And if you haven't heard about it, well, now it's Record Store Days. It used to just be the, I think, third Saturday of any given April. And then now they also do a Black Friday, kind of Record Store Day 2 thing to get you out after Thanksgiving and purchase records. But ostensibly, the idea behind Record Store Day is to celebrate independent record stores, and in particular vinyl, even though a lot of times there's special CD, and in this case cassette releases on Record Store Day as well. But the idea is to get you out and supporting your local, the dying breed of the local independent music store, and physical media and albums, etc. So usually there's a lot of cool releases. There's a lot of cynicism kind of centered around the event now, even though Dave Grohl is the official ambassador of Record Store Day, and he loves it. Some people are less than thrilled about the big labels getting involved, particularly Warner Brothers, etc. And I've heard some small record stores complain that these labels are pretty much forcing people into buying tons and tons of records that they're never really going to move and are going to sit around. But, that said, I come at it casually. I'm not really one of the people that get out there early and pick up records at 6 in the morning or whatever and wait for the store to open. A lot of those people are also flippers, another bone of contention amongst record fanatics about Record Store Day. The people that go out and technically don't illegally basically scalp records. They go when they find all the rare stuff and then immediately turn around and sell it for a major profit on places like eBay. And they're called flippers, and people pretty much hate them. So those are the people usually that are in line before you when you go out early. But I usually just tend to go, like I said, there is usually a decent amount of stock of these titles. And if I go even the day after, a lot of times I'll find what I'm looking for. So I'm not that worried about it. This year I picked up a couple things. One, I wanted to get this 7-inch Slayer, When the Stillness Comes, which is the new release. A lot of times also this stuff is released digitally. I mean, this track was released by Slayer online about a day or two before Record Store Day anyways. But the rarity on this case being the flip side, there's a live version of Black Magic recorded at Wacken Open Air from 2014. So that must mean Gary Holt on guitar. And I'm trying to remember if that was still Paul Bostaff at that point. Probably. And yeah, so it's pretty cool, limited edition little teaser for the upcoming Slayer album. This and Implode are the only two songs we've heard so far. Prepare for the internet to complain about it, but pretty decent tune. I also got this. I didn't even know this was out. I actually picked this up the day after Record Store Day when I had to go pick something else up. But a At the Gates reissue of Gardens of Grief, their original demo, or I guess not really a demo, but EP, 4 tracks. This is hard to find even on CD. I've got a copy of that with Grotesque's album as a split. Grotesque was another band Thomas Lindberg from At the Gates was in. But yeah, so it's got a cool photo montage here and lyrics on the backside and kind of marbled, kind of brownish look to the disc itself. There's supposedly a poster that comes with it, but I don't know if it was supposed to be inserted and folded or if it was supposed to be at the counter. But there was no poster in my copy, and the store had no idea what I was talking about, so they didn't have any behind the counter. So I don't know. Maybe if Thomas Lindberg's out there, he can send me a poster. But that was worth picking up. I also had to get a couple picture discs. One, I was planning on getting this. Mastodon Atlanta, a track that's not on their most recent release, Once More Around the Sun. It's a non-album track with Gibby Haynes of Butthole Surfers doing vocals. Pretty weird tune. On the flip side, there's an instrumental version as well, but nice looking picture disc. This one I didn't even know was out there, but I tripped across it. A picture disc, again, of Mastodon's The Mother Lode, which is on the album Once More Around the Sun, as is the B-side, Halloween. But the version on the flip side here is an instrumental. So, pretty cool, worth checking out. And also, I took advantage of the CD sale at Newberry Comics where I went to. And my band actually played an acoustic performance for the second year in a row at Newberry, so that was pretty cool getting involved in that. And they had a good CD sale. If you buy 2, you get one free. So I bought the new Tori Amos reissues of the first 2 albums for my fiance, and then also picked up, finally, the Pale Communion Blu-ray CD combo of Opeth's newest release, and been meaning to get this for a while. I've got a digital copy. It's part of the problem of being a radio DJ is I get pretty much any metal album I want sent to me digitally, and as a fan of the band, I want to go out and get the physical, but sometimes it takes me a little while. But I've got every other Opeth album, so I had to pick this up as well. The Blu-ray is great. I'll probably do a spotlight review on that later. Took a listen to it that night. And I had to pick this up. In fact, everybody seemed to be mostly interested in this release. Metallica, No Life Till Leather on cassette. Yes, I did have a bootleg that was ostensibly sourced from Lars Ulrich's original 8-inch master tapes. But he has gone and found apparently a ton of stuff in his closets, etc. And has been sending them to Greg Feidelman to engineer and remaster for release. And later on this year, there's going to be an issue of all the old demos and apparently some other interesting old stuff from what Lars has been teasing in online interviews. But in the meantime, they decided to release their first, real demo, No Life Till Leather, again on cassette, on a pseudo TDK cassette. I like how it says BLK for Blackened Records instead of TDK. And it's even got, Metallica demo, turned down bass on amp, handwritten notes from Lars that was on the original, apparently, that he used to package and mail out to everybody. So it's a pretty cool idea. I like the little stamped Metallica logo in there. Simple, lo-fi, gimmicky as all heck, and hardly anybody who buys this is going to be able to play it. But I've listened through to it. Still a lot of fun. Also picked up a couple other things recently. Been hitting some sales. Newberry also had their 30th anniversary sale, so I picked up the Insomnium Candlelight Years collection. If you've seen Opeth's Candlelight Years collection, it's very similar. It's just a super clamshell reissue of their first 4 albums, and great finish. Kind of doomy band, but with a little bit more rollicking spirit to them. So it's kind of like a doomier version of Amon Amarth or something like that. Great band, lots of melody and awesome stuff. I also had to finally pick up Yes, Big Generator. I'm a unapologetic Trevor Rabin-era Yes era fan, and I love 90125, and I love the Rhino reissue of that. And unfortunately, I don't think there's a proper reissue of this, and it's got great tunes on it, like Shoot High, Aim Low. Love that song. It's only 8 tracks, but definitely worth picking up. And so I grabbed the original Atco release for next to nothing. Also finally hit another record store that happened to be in my hometown, which I never knew was here. And I picked up something I've been looking for a long time, the Silva Screen reissue of the Escape from New York soundtrack, complete with a bunch of clips from the movie, which is way cool, and great sounding stuff, very moody. And I don't know if this was released domestically here, but I had to pick up the German SPV pressing of Motorizer from Motorhead, to fill in my Motorhead collection a little bit. And I also picked up some classic vinyl, well, not really classic, but from the 90s. And a sealed 1997 copy of Matthew Sweet's Blue Sky on Mars. So that was worth grabbing. It's got a cool gatefold, and yeah, great condition because it was sealed. And it's got a cool kind of paper sleeve with the lyrics on the back. So that was worth picking up. Also been hitting the flea markets quite a bit, and I am missing one. I bought Tom Waits' Orphans, Brawlers, Ballers, and Bastards, and I had left that in the other room, so I apologize for not showing you that. But this is something that was on my hit list for a while. I used to rock these tunes a lot as a kid, and I'd heard the LP before, but I had to get the CD issue of Heavy Metal, the soundtrack with Devo and Don Felder and that kind of stuff. What happened to Riggs? I don't know. Riggs has a couple tunes on here, but it's got Mob Rules by Black Sabbath, which of course I have on the Mob Rules album anyways, but that's always a cool release. And I was just talking about Brain Scan in my review of Virtuosity. I had to get the soundtrack for it. It's got some cool stuff from like Tad and Primus. I mean, I think the Primus song's on Pork Soda, but the real reason I got this is from the is for the George S. Clinton main title theme. So moody, so awesome. I wish there was a proper score. Maybe there is. I should look into that. Maybe Rare Sarah Band did one or something, but I'd been meaning to pick that up. This I just got for $2 on a whim to complete my Slayer collection. A little promo of I Hate You, one of their punk covers from the Undisputed Attitude album that everybody hates, but figured I'd get that. And this, a German Metallica single I got for $2, a maxi single. And it's got the 2 live tracks from Texas that were on my 12-inch that I bought of this way back in the day at Record Breaker. And it's got For Whom the Bell Tolls Live and Welcome Home Sanitarium alongside the full-length version of 1. So I was glad to pick that up. The real version of this to get is the Japanese one, because it's got both of these, and it's got the Seek and Destroy live version from Texas that's on my 7-inch, and it's also got the demo version of 1. And to round things off, I got Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe. I had a digital copy of this, and this thing's totally worth getting for the booklet, which is awesome. But the disc is pretty hacked, super trashed. But I don't even think it made it through. Maybe it crapped out on the 10th or 11th track, but it was worth a shot for $1 or $2. So yeah, so that's it for pickups, except for my Tom Waits Orphans, which I neglected to bring with me, so I apologize for that. I'll be back with some more videos momentarily. Cheers!